All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Ka Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harikak Dash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and double honors to my elder Aharawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and I'm Kanak Sa'an Ba Yashar from the Lions of the Yashar camp. And I want to do a quick lesson. And the angle I was going to go, I decided not to, and I'm gonna go a different angle. And the lesson topic is on this question on this article or this news forum, social media site that I like to get on. It's called Quora, and the question posed was, are we inside a black hole? And initially I thought, hey, let's look at it from a spiritual standpoint, right? Understanding what a black hole does, absorbs and destroys and traps light and doesn't allow light to escape. So with that being said, I'm like, hey, Esau is the black hole or the creator of the black hole in a sense because all he does is just put darkness everywhere. But then I thought about it, taking it even more beyond than that, the black holes, in a sense, will be these chains of darkness, these bodies that we're in, that try to trap the light that's within inside of the light of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And if we don't follow the light, that light will not be able to be presented if we don't follow after the true light, Yahweh Shai. All right, so these chains of darkness it makes us subject to sin, and what does sin bring? Darkness, death, and destruction. All right, so now that true light, Yahweh Shai, they have to see that spirit within inside you through your actions. But when we get the new bodies, you'll be able to see that radiance, that radiation, that radiance, that protruding light from within, like our bodies are going to glow like the firmament. All right, and now we're going to do it from a spiritual standpoint on this side, let your light shine among men, but you're going to be able to see that radiant when we have those new bodies. All right, so where I want to go with it is talking about these chains of darkness that are subject to sin, that try to trap and absorb light just like a black hole does. All right, so the question posed was, are we inside of a black hole? And this individual, Max Lowe, stated that, in my opinion, it is quite likely our universe is inside of a black hole. Now, mind you, these are all people talking from a scientific perspective. But where I'm going is from a spiritual perspective, okay? It says, in my opinion, it is quite likely our universe is inside of a black hole. And, in fact, I haven't heard a single argument to the contrary, which doesn't completely strawman misunderstand this theory. There are two big pieces of evidence for this. It says, if our universe is inside of a black hole, then it should exhibit the famous property of the black hole that light cannot escape. All right. Now, light cannot escape. So now that's the point, because matter of fact, now is light not escaping, or is there no light in them? So let me get Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. And it says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. All right. So now the spirit of light is not entered into their bodies. So therefore, the chains of darkness and the gross darkness that spread out throughout the whole earth has consumed them. So there's no light that can escape, because essentially there's no light within them. But to the elect, their light is going to shine through their actions, right? Through their actions, you're going to see that glow upon. You're going to see that spirit on them according to their actions and their beliefs. All right. So that's the answer to this world can be treated as a black hole because there's darkness everywhere, and these chains of darkness, these bodies, could be treated as the same thing, because what is it trying to do? It's trying to trap and destroy light. All right, so now let me get What is a black hole? All right. It says a black hole, a region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape. All right. So that particular word radiation is, well, dealing with this, a region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape. All right. And if you think about it, um, that's what these bodies, or that's what Esau does to trap light, so it cannot escape. They create lies and the confusion, right, to try to hide the light and distort the light, and have people sitting in darkness. And that's what these bodies do. These bodies are subject to that vanity, so these bodies can be, can follow behind in that darkness because they're subject to sin. However, that radiance can protrude when we have those new bodies, because we won't be subject to the vanities of sin and the vanities of darkness, because we made a pure light. All right. I'm not going to go into the depths of it like the elder went into it, because I'm not that well learned in that. So, but I'm just skimming the surface on explaining how the chains of darkness is trapping the light. All right, the pure light of Yahweh Shema Shai that's within us, right, as if it were a black hole. And Esau does the same thing, spreading darkness throughout the whole earth. All right, so now it says a black hole, a region of space having a gravitational field so intense that no matter or radiation can escape. So now the radiation part, it says the emissions of energy as electromagnetic waves or as moving subatomic particles, especially high energy particles, which causes ionization. So the elder broke down the ionization and how we're going to be able to do that when we get the new body. So that light cannot project, right, wrapped in these chains of darkness. So it projects through the elect, through the words that are being spoken. So with the words, like I did a lesson about a month ago, saying that sound creates light. And I was talking from a spiritual sense on that point too. Sound creates light. The words of Yahweh Shema Shai creates light into the world. And those speckles of light are seen from the heavens by Yahweh Shema Shai and the holy angels. All right, so now that's where that radiance comes from, the word being spoken out into the earth and those lights being revealed through heaven. Because Yahweh Shema Shai discerns the spirit, not the flesh, okay? So these lights, the radiance of light can be seen by Yahweh Shema Shai and the ones that believe. You can't see it from a physical sense with the naked eye, but from a spiritual sense, they'll be able to see it through the actions and the words being spoken by the elect, all right, which is going to draw them to that light. So as the black hole tries to suck light in, all right, the true light of Yahweh Shema Shai pulls the light out of the black hole. So initially we're being pulled, we're being, through the spirit, being pulled, all right, being pulled out of the darkness of this earth through Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And eventually we're going to be pulled, that light is going to be pulled out of these bodies into those new bodies where that light will be able to be radiant on inside and out. Not only through our actions, you'll be able to pinpoint and see, because we'll have a glow kind of like Bruce Leroy, Lord willing, I'm part of that number. All right, so that radiance is going to be shown on the outside, not only within, not only expressed within. All right. So really, once we get out of these chains of darkness and into the new bodies, we'll be able to see that. But right now, we see it through the course of our actions. The elect following after the footsteps of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, I want to get a couple scriptures going into this. Let me get Jude chapter 1, verse 5. Real quick. All right, start there. This is Jude chapter 1, verse 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believed not. Right, because they rather dwell in darkness. It said, darkness shall shall be chosen rather than light in these times. All right. All right. This is John chapter 3, verse 19. It says, "And this is the condemnation of the world. This is the condemnation that light is coming to the world." Right. But it wasn't sucked in like we say black holes. That light was sent into the world by Yahweh, and that light is Yahweh Shai. All right. The light was sent into a place of darkness. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get Isaiah. Before I get that, I want to get Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. It's Isaiah 60 and 1, and it says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee." All right, so that light that's come is Yahweh Shai. All right, that's going to light up, that's the spirit of light that came into us, and we stood upon our feet as a great exceeding army. All right, spirit of life, which is light. Okay, darkness is death. Okay, verse 2, it says, For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right, you're going to see that light, that radiance in the elect through their actions. And ultimately, at the end, you're going to see it all over them when we get those new bodies. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. And that's what we hope for. Okay? It says, verse 3. Let me start from the beginning again, because that's a very powerful scripture right there. Isaiah 60 and 1. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee." All right, so that light is that sign, that ensign, that Yahweh Shai. So now we know how to act. We know, what light is because of Yahweh Shai. That light has come. All right. So that's why we have to operate according to the Spirit, because if we operate according to the flesh, we're dwelling in darkness. Okay? So darkness can't comprehend the light. So that's why it's a constant struggle and battle, just like it's constant struggle and battle when a black hole absorbs light. It's a fight for the light to escape, and it's a fight for the darkness to trap it. So those that are living according to the Spirit are allowing that light to escape the darkness, and those that are living according to the flesh are allowing the darkness to trap them. That's why they rather have darkness rather than light. And I'm going to go back to that in a second in John chapter 3. All right. It says, "For behold," this is Isaiah 60 and 2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." All right. So you'll see the light on the elect. That's how you're going to know, oh, he's one of the elect of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. It says, "And the Gentiles shall come to the light, and the kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes around about, and see, all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, thy daughters shall be nourished at thy side. And thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee." So now, that's what's going to happen. All right, that's going to be that enzyme, that example, that light of Yahweh Shai is going to be an example for people, for the Gentiles to flock to. All right, let me get Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10, and it says, "And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an enzyme, a sign or light of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." All right, so now, and that's going to then be us flocking to that light, which is Yahweh Shai, man. So Even though we're wrapped in these chains of darkness, matter of fact, I want to get another scripture talking about that. Even though we're wrapped in these chains of darkness, we're not subject to that darkness because of the light of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that's within us. Okay? So, let me get 2 Peter chapter 2. Verse 1. And it says, oh man, Shlaki, I gotta get it on my phone because that page is torn out of my Bible. Shlaki. Alright, this is 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring up themselves swift destruction. Right, and that's them dwelling in the darkness and trying to bring wicked deeds upon the people because they love darkness rather than light. All right, so because they're subject to vanity, because they're subject to the carnal realm. That's what they're stuck in darkness. So that's what they want to promote, and they want to try to destroy the light, doing the biddings of their father, the devil, which is Esau, the king of the power, the prince of the power of the air, the prince of darkness. All right, that's why Yahushua said this right quick. Let me get this. Let me get John chapter 14, verse 30. And it says, hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and hath nothing in me. Meaning there's no light in the prince of this world. And when he was talking about, he's talking about Titus and Vespasian. So really Esau, he was talking about bringing forth nothing but straight darkness, being a black hole trying to consume the light, all right, of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, so now back to 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. It says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Right, so the way of truth is evil spoken of by the prince of darkness. So they follow after their father, the devil. So the lust of their father they shall do. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to also help Esau destroy and distort the light which is coming to the earth. But it's up to the elect to defend the name and the honor and glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and his word, and promoting the light. Verse 3 says, and through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. Right, so they're on the way to their destruction, because darkness is going to be destroyed. That's why the scripture says the sun shall never go down, meaning there shall never be darkness on the earth again. So the darkness is going to be consumed by the light. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 5. It says, verse 4. It says, who opposes and exalteth himself. Let me start at verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's talking about Esau, man. All right? It says, who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God, right? So he's showing himself that he's the light. All right? But his light is darkness. The light of Esau is darkness, man. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. Let me share real quick. All right, this is Matthew 6 and 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. All right, this is talking about spiritually. It ain't talking about your eye, your two eyes, because you could be physically blind and be spiritually 20/20 vision or whatever. It says, if therefore the eye be single, thy body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee speak darkness, how great is that darkness? All right, so that's great darkness that is being brought forth by the son of perdition, which is Esau. And at that time, Paul was talking about Titus and Vespasian. Okay, so back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it said, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped as God, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." Right, and that's what Esau is trying to do. All right, and therefore, he has his minions bringing in damnable heresies, all right, are trying to distort the minds of those that have light. Okay, so it says, verse 5, it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time." Right, the revelation of the prince of darkness is come. All right, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way." So now, if we're in these chains of darkness, right, that are subject to sin, what is sin? Iniquity. Now, if the mystery of iniquity, he's the mystery of the prince of darkness. All right, so now those that are living according to the flesh are subject to follow behind his ways and choose darkness rather than light, because they're going after the course of this world, and this world is filled with nothing but gross darkness at the moment until the Son of Yahweh returns, Yahweh Shai, man, that brings forth that light. His spirit is here now through his elect, but his physical presence, like he's going to have his spirit and his glorified body that's going to shine upon this place. All right. So we're going to see him physically, see that physical light, and we already see it spiritually. All right. It says, verse 7, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Now, brightness of his coming in the glory of his Father, his glory, and the glory of the holy angels, man. And it's going to be a bright day. It's going to be a day of darkness and gloominess for the wicked, but it's going to be a day of brightness for the elect. Because that's when they're going to receive that morning star. He said, "I will give you the morning star." So that's that light. So those that are not subject to these chains of darkness follow after righteousness, not wickedness. All right. So now going back to 2 Peter chapter 2, verse. So now we just read that in 2 Thessalonians, the prince of darkness, right, which is Esau, right. So now 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 2, it says, "And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of." And who is that talking about? We just read that talking about Esau. All right, and so 2/3 of our people follow behind that try to destroy the truth. Verse 3, it says, "And through covetousness shall they with faint words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not." So they're on the path of a swift destruction, but they can't see it because they're consumed by darkness. "For if Yahweh spare not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell and delivered them to the chains of darkness to be reserved unto the judgment." Right. So those chains of darkness are these bodies, man. And those angels that fell was the nation of Israel before it was called Israel. Those were the sons of God. All right. So now he said, the scripture says, "We are gods, and all sons of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes." All right. And if I'm not mistaken, that prince that fell was Adam, and the Adamites from that heavenly state. So now we're trying to get back to that state through the form of light, through Yahweh Shai. All right. So now we're trying to escape, out of the chains of darkness. So now the darkness is sin. That's just it. The darkness is sin, man. All right. So going back to let me see. Did I get this first John? Slakia. Okay, yeah, let me get I'm gonna wait to get that. Let me get Let me go back to John chapter 3, verse 19. So these chains of darkness are going to be subject to sin and vanity, and the only way to escape from it is living according to the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is John chapter 3, verse 19. That said, this is the condemnation of that light is coming to the world. Why would light be a condemnation? Because people want to dwell in darkness. There's a bunch of wickedness on this earth. It's just only like a small few of righteous that are on the earth compared to the amount of wicked that are on the earth. All right, it says, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light. All right, because their deeds are evil. So now they don't want to be reproved or rebuked, you know, and from there you can be exhorted, but they rather dwell in the darkness because, you know, they like sensual, carnal things, and they're not dwelling in the light, you know. So verse 20 says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest the deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to right. So what is the contrast of truth? Lies. So what is the opposite of truth? Lies. What is the opposite of light? Darkness. So you have the lies and the darkness that consume the whole earth, but there is still light on there. The scriptures say, when he comes, shall he find faith on the earth? And will he find light on the earth? Of course. And those that believe in his name, and believe in the name of the Father and the name of the Son. All right? It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest their deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth come to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought of Yahweh. All right? So now, that their deeds be made manifest. So that light is going to be radiant and shine in the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. So for those are the ones that come to the light, that stay away from the darkness, that don't operate after the manner of the flesh, that operate after the manner of the spirit. Okay? So 1 John chapter 1, verse 5, it says, this then is the message which we have heard of him, and declare unto you that Yahweh is light, and in him is no darkness. Right? So what happens when Yahweh Shai is the image of the invisible power? So what happens when he enters in this realm? You're going to see nothing but radiation, not radiation in form of like nuclear radiation, but like radiant, vibrant light. His spirit is going to be expounding. His whole train shall fill the whole earth, not just fill the temple. It's going to fill the whole earth. Verse 6, it says, if we say that we have fellowship with him and we walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Yahweh Shai, his son, cleanses us from all sins. Right. So now it cleanses us from these bodies. It cleanses us from this darkness. All right. And it puts us in a mindset to be like Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, being a spiritual man, not a natural man. And First Corinthians chapter 2 explains all that. So it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. We're perfected in faith, and ultimately at the end we're going to be perfected physically when we get the new bodies. All right. So I'm going to close it out with 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 51, and it says, for I behold, I show you a mystery. So now remember, we were wrapped. The fallen ones are wrapped in the chains of darkness. All right, but the ones that are drawn to the light are going to be changed. All right. 1 Corinthians 15 and 51, it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right. The ones that died in the truth are going to be glorified at that moment, but we're going to see their glory when we enter into the chariots and we get changed. All right. It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So we have to take off. The Lord is going to take away these chains of darkness and give us new bodies where that light, that spirit is going to shine through. It's going to be radiated through. All right. It says, so when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Because what is death? Like sleep, darkness, All right, sin. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. All right. So now we never knew we were in darkness until we were told we were in darkness and changed the darkness by the law. So by us continue to go forth in sin, that's what exposed the darkness to us. That's what led us to know that we're in darkness. All right. But however, what also let us know that we have an escape from the darkness is when Yahweh Shai came into the world and gave us the light, gave us the true light, gave us the truth. All right. So going back to the question at hand, are we inside of a black hole? This Earth can be considered a black hole because of the darkness that is trying to distort and trap the light. And these bodies can be considered the same thing because it does the same thing. But Yahweh Shai is here to deliver us from both the darkness on the earth and the darkness that is contained in these bodies. All right. The Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and to serve His purpose for the hope of elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And I want to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Harikak Wadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. All right, Shalom.